All right, welcome to another episode of the Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Craig Mack, and the gentleman I have on the screen right now is JB McGinnis. We may be related, not sure yet. We're still looking into that. But
I know.
he's a veteran. He's a Kappa. What school did you go to, JB?
I went to Wayland University, man. It's a small school here in Texas. While I was in the military, I got my degree, my undergrad in education, and my master's in human resource management right here in Texas,
Okay, all right,
Wayland
cool,
University.
cool. But you were raised in Chicago, right?
Raised in Chicago, yes, and I got my degree while I was in the military, so it was
Oh,
when I was grown. But yes,
okay.
born and raised on the South Side.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is also an entrepreneur, financial literacy expert, which I am thrilled to have you on the show for that. He is also a published author, and the name of his book is Mindset First, Money Second. And just give me
Correct.
a minute here. Give me a minute here. Uh, Bam.
That's it. Okay.
Let's do it again here. So yeah, it's mindset first and money second. The things I did to stop living paycheck to paycheck. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I'll
So,
tell you what.
so tell me something. So, what made you decide to write that book?
Well, that book has been in my head for years. And um, when I do presentations, I started out by having a soldier that had bounced a check, and my first sergeant came to me and said, "You need to get him squared away because when a soldier does something bad, their leader is actually involved in it." And so I got educated on the things that I wanted to teach him on. And I taught him, and he told somebody who told somebody who told somebody. And next thing you know, I'm the financial guy. And so I kind of liked it, the fact that I was able to help people. And it just grew from there. And as it grew, my knowledge grew,
Mm.
my drive to learn more grew. And I started getting some credentials under my belt to become a certified credit counselor and things like that.
Okay.
Over the years, becoming a real estate investor, actually dipping in stocks and 401k, or really an IRA, real estate investing, as I mentioned, I started gaining all this financial knowledge, and it just was packed in my head. It was all packed there.
Hmm.
So what happened is I felt that as I got better and better, I can make a better impact with teaching groups instead of individuals.
Mm. Okay.
And as I was teaching individuals, what I learned is that people would come to me afterwards and say, "Hey, man, how can I get started? I'm ready to change my life financially. I'm ready to stop living paycheck to paycheck. What can I do? Can you tell me how to get started?" And I said to myself, it would be nice if I could say, boom, here's my book, or go on Amazon, buy my book. That'll get you started, you
Right.
know? And so I was sitting down telling my wife about it, and my wife said, "Well, what's stopping you?" And I said, "The only thing really stopping me is I don't want to, I'm not a typist. I don't want to sit down and put fingers to keyboard." And she said, "Well, I can do that. You could talk, I could type. We'll make it happen." So that's what happened. My wife and I, every week, we would pick a couple of days, sit down on the couch. I already knew the things that I wanted to. I put it in an outline, and I said, "Here are the topics I'm going to talk about." And we have the topic. I'll start with topic number one, and we'll go forth. And
Wow,
man, in about 2 months, we had a finished product.
that is awesome.
My wife published it because she published her own book. And so the things that were in my mind and in my past from experiences came out in print. And I was happy to be able to offer that to people to say, if you want to get started, here you go.
Wow. That's so your wife has has a book out too?
She does. She does. She has a book, and it was what we did is she published her book first, and we let her book take its course because it was about uh, spoken words and poems.
Okay.
So we let
I
her
gotta
book.
get on the show, man. I gotta meet your wife and
Yeah,
get on the show.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. We um we let her book take its course.
Hmm.
And then once that was done, we started to move mine out because hers came out Mine came out in 2023.
Hmm.
Hers came out in during COVID in 21.
Okay.
So we let her book go through a couple of years and then we dropped mine.
Nice. Nice. So you both self-published your book.
Right. She did both. But
Really?
yes, essentially, she self-published hers, and then she said, "Now I've done that, I can do yours." And so she did. She had someone to edit it and format it, and then I had three readers, three basically people to go over the book and tell me what they thought about it. Three people. My sister Ruby McGinnis was one. Gary Daniels, hardworking man, and
Hmm.
then um, man, he's gonna kill me because I don't Grundy, Michael Grundy.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are the three individuals that I trust. I knew if I put the manuscript in their hands, they would read it quickly and get back with me. And we talked about things. We changed a few things. Then we put it out there, man.
Okay. That sounds like a good best practice. So if I
Mhm.
ever write a book, I have to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And then once we
I
put
got
it
one in my brain. I'm just
Yeah, I mean, we all sort of have a book in our mind, you know. Of course, it's what the public wants to read, but we all kind of have a book in our mind, and I have a couple more to be honest with you. But once we put it out, man, it went bestseller on Amazon under the category credit and debt management. It
nice.
went number three overall in the financial literacy realm under behind Dave Ramsey's number one and number two, because Dave
Wow.
Ramsey, of course. So I was
Nice.
really happy about that, man. I screenshotted it.
Yeah,
It was
that's good company.
company. Yeah, that's good company to be in. And so it's been out. As a matter of fact, yesterday it dropped down to 53 on the bestsellers list. I mean, and that's pretty good to be out for a couple of years.
Right.
November 15th, it'll be out exactly 2 years.
Yeah, well, I bought my copy. That's why I got a picture of it there. So well, the next time I
And
see
I
you, I gotta have
appreciate
you
the
sign
support.
it for me.
Absolutely. I appreciate the support, man. It's a
So
pretty quick and good read. So
yeah, so when I was reading it, one of the things that you start out with, you said find your epiphany. What do
Mhm.
tell the audience what you meant by that?
Well, let me tell you, I tried to change my financial life around many times, and I just kept failing. I kept promising myself I wasn't going to do this. I promised myself I wasn't going to buy that, and I just slipped and slipped and slipped. So here's what I did. There are a few people on this earth that if I tell I'm going to do something, I don't fail. One is my mom. If I tell my mom I'm going to do something, I make it happen. And the other is my daughter, Precious. Now I got two daughters, but that's a whole nother topic because I didn't find out I had two daughters until just last year. But
Okay,
that's
yeah, we ain't gonna go there.
but uh but I got custody of my daughter when she was 9.
Okay.
And I said, when my daughter came to live with me in Georgia, and this is when you could walk to the jet bridge and see your loved one come down the jet bridge.
Mhm.
I looked in her eyes, and her eyes said, I need your help. I need your comfort. I need your love. I need your support. I don't need you to mess this up. That's what her eyes said to me. And from that day, I looked at my daughter and I didn't verbally say it, but I promised her, I'm going to change my life around. I'm going to, I'm going to do the things I always promised that I would do and not do the things that I promised I wouldn't. And I promised her, you're not going to live the same kind of life I live. I lived growing up, and I'm not gonna feed you peanut butter jelly sandwiches and ramen noodles at night. I'm gonna get my life turned around. And from that point, man, it was easy. I promised my daughter it happened, and I turned my life around.
Yeah.
I got more dedicated, disciplined, and man, it just took off like this.
No, I can totally relate to what you're saying. I got full custody of my son when he was 2, and
Okay.
so I totally get it. It's you and her against the world. So I totally.
Against the world. And so once I told her, I promise you, I'm not going to let you go through the things I went through. We're going to have a solid financial life here. You're going to be able to go to the field trips. You're going to be able to go and do the things. You're going to be able to look decent going to school. You're never going to have to worry about food. I mean, that just set me on a different path. So I tell people, find your epiphany. Find your one thing when you say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and this is what's going to get me over. Find that. Sometimes you got to lay on the couch and get counseling. Sometimes it's just what I did. Promise someone you love. Sometimes it's looking at this podcast. That may
Mhm.
flip your script. And so So that was my epiphany.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I was really excited to get you on because in my opinion, financial literacy is one of the biggest academic epidemics in this country right now.
It is.
It's not so much how much money you make, it's what you do with what you make that makes a
Absolutely.
difference. I mean, you could be a janitor and become a millionaire. If you just learn how to make your money work for you, how to make your money when you get up in the morning, go to work, your money gets up and go to work too. That's it.
That's the
So
thing I tell my young kids. I ask them first, if I gave you $10,000, what would you do with it? And when they give me their responses, I make the adjustments and say, money is for making money. Of
right.
course, you got to spend some, but its primary purpose is to make more
Yeah, because in the book you said one of the things you said was teach kids about money management early.
early and often. It's important.
So what should parents do with their kids? Because the parents sometimes aren't educated enough themselves, right?
You're
So what
correct.
would you suggest a parent do to teach money management to their kids?
One, get the education. Like a book like mine, and there are many other books out there. Mine definitely is not the only one, but get the education. But here's what I did with my daughter that is still paying dividends today. I let my daughter manage money early. So what I did is, let's just say, and I'm just going to use generic numbers. These numbers aren't true back when I started, but let's use these generic numbers. I told my daughter, you got $100 a month. And out of that $100, you're going to have to save 10% of it. And you're going to have to live off the 90 for the month. That's going to the movies, lunch money, whatever you do, that's $90. And so I gave my daughter a debit card, a dreaded debit card, right? And I said, there you go, $90. Got it. Well, in 2 weeks, she came back and said she was busted. I had no more money. And I said, okay, you're going to have to do what grown folk do when they run out of money. You got to make do. You got to make do. You can't go to movies, can't buy things at lunch. You got to make do. And
Mhm.
she did it. She did it the next week, the next month, she got a little better. The next month, she got a little better. And before you know it, my daughter was handling that $90 a month with 10% going into savings like a champ.
Mhm.
Now, my daughter was only 10 years old when I started this. And what it did, it taught her great money management skills without me having to know a lot. I didn't have to know a lot. All she knew is I got $90. And if I spend it, he ain't giving me a dime more. So what it did though is when she went off to college, she actually knew how to manage money because it happened time and time again, month after month after month. We learn best two ways: significant emotional event. I touched that pot, it's hot, I'm not touching it again. Or repetition, again and again and again. She did it again and again, and guess what? She got it. Therefore, and I didn't let up on her. If she blew her money, nothing. Not I'm not bailing you out. And that taught my daughter to this day. My daughter manages money well. I don't have to worry about it.
That is so good. Yeah, I exposed my son at an early age, around 10 years old, like pretty much like you did. I went to an options class because I was on my financial literacy journey as well. And I
Mhm.
dragged him along to that options class. And he was the
Good.
only kid in there. There was a bunch of gray hairs sitting in the class with us. But the facilitator commended me for bringing him because he
Right.
said he had taught his daughter at the age of 8 how to pick stocks and do options. And
Mhm.
that's what I had kind of like another epiphany for myself to, yeah,
Right.
start pouring into him. And he when he was a kid, he kind of ignored it, but when he got older and started working and making money, he pulled me aside. He's like, "Yeah, I planted that seed." He was like, "Yeah, Dad,
Mental
can you
Rolodex.
go with that stock stuff again with me now?" Now he is a subject matter expert in options and doing very well. So
Right.
that's cool. You also said in the book, you said not people not being ready for success.
Mhm.
So could you go into that a little bit?
Well, when used to be when clients call me, potential clients, and say, I need to get squared away. I'm sick of living the way I'm living. I need to get out of this rat race. And I ask them, are you ready for success? I'll give you an example. So let's just say somebody has a 500 credit score,
Hmm.
but they still have a 500 credit score mentality.
Mm.
And we do these hacks and this stuff and this and that, and now they got a 700 credit score. A year and a half later, but their mindset is still 500.
Hmm.
I can arm them with a 700 credit score and get them to that point, and now they have a house that they don't know how to take care of financially. And
Mm.
I could actually hurt them more by giving them something they're not ready for than to actually test them to see if they're ready for it. And so I ask them, are you ready for this? So here's what I do to people like that to see if they're ready. I'll say, call me Tuesday, 6 o'clock on the dot. Guess what? Most of them don't call me back.
Mm.
One number one reason or number one uh, thing that tells me they're not ready because you can't keep this simple appointment to get you to elevate. And so I do little tests with people that are going to be a potential clients to see if they are willing to make the sacrifices. When someone comes to me and says, I want to buy a house, I need you to help me. And I say, okay, what's the problem? My credit score is 520 and I need to be at a 680. I tell them, I don't think you're in the right mindset to have a house because you're trying to get to 680. That's not going to get you the best credit score. That's going to make you pay $200, $300 more a month. And therefore, you're going to be drowning. I need you to postpone that and wait until you can get a 720, 730 so you can get the best credit score, so you can get the best interest rate. And so you have to be ready for success. That's why people who become millionaires don't stay millionaires. They're not ready for success. So you have to be ready. It's not just about making it, it's about sustaining it.
Okay. Yeah, it's like you said, I read something where a lot of the lottery winners wound up being in worse financial situations
75%
2, 3 years after they won the money. They're worse than what they were before they won the money
not
because of
ready
that
for
mindset that you're talking about. They're still, that they don't know how to manage it. They're not educated enough to handle that sudden windfall, and they blow it.
And the first thing I ask people is I tell them, mindset first, money second. You got to get your mindset right first. If your mindset is not right, I can pour money into you all day. You're not going to make it. You have to get your mindset right first.
Right. And again, folks, his book is Mindset First, Money Second. There it is. You can find it on Amazon. Is it just on Amazon or do you have it someplace else?
It's on Barnes and Nobles as well, but Amazon is so quick. Most of my people just go to Amazon
Yeah.
and purchase it. And I can't tell you how many names we my wife and I sat down and came up with before we came up with that one. But that was just really that mindset, man. I tell you what, and here you are with Mindset Podcast, right?
Right?
Got to get that right mindset. I can pour all the money into you I want to. I can put you in positions of success. If you don't have the right mindset, it's basically useless. So it's a very, very powerful title to the book. And when I do my videos on social media, I always end it with, "Don't forget, mindset first, money second."
There you go. So before we got on camera, you were telling me about how you do presentations for groups. So how can someone reach you in order to maybe set up to come talk to a group or organization?
Well, they can reach out to me on social media. I'm JB McGinnis on Facebook. I'm JB McNoop on Instagram. They can reach out to me on my website. My website is jbmseminars.com. They can reach out to me by text
Okay.
or call. My number is 803-447-3488. Once again, that's 803-447-3488. And I do, and Craig, you'll probably appreciate this. I do presentations where I co-host with people. So let me tell you what I did to a group of ladies a couple months ago. We had about 12 or 14 ladies that wanted to do a presentation. So I had a co-host. She got them together. She got the location. They paid a fee, and it included my book. And I came, hosted. She got money for hosting, being a co-host. I got money for doing a presentation. A minimal fee because they got my book, and we had the presentation was shoot, almost 3 hours long. We went over everything, man. We went over a ton of information. I gave them handouts. This is where we start. Step one, and then step two, step three. So now that you've gotten to that portion, if you do everything I asked you to do, you have $2,000 at least in the bank. You got all your debt paid off, your credit card debt and stuff, and now it's starting to invest in ETFs, 401k, a Roth IRA. So these ladies are phenomenal, man. It was a great presentation, and I've done several of them, but not just ladies, but anybody. But
Mhm.
it actually opens the door for people who have, like you, that have an audience that want to do a presentation, and we go in and co-host. It works out. It's a try or a triple win. You win, I win, they win. They
Right.
win most, but yeah. So that's what I do, and I've done groups from 10 all the way up to 500, and
Wow.
well,
Um,
800. But yeah, it's a great thing to do. I get so much positive feedback. I get feedback from people who are come back and talk to me about the success they had and say, I read your book, I buckled down, did everything you told me to, and let me tell you where I am now. One young lady told me 3 weeks after we had the presentation. Um, I already sold my car. So that car note is gone. I bought me a cash car.
mm,
So I freed up $450 a month.
mhm.
I canceled this. So now from your presentation to today, I have almost $600 disposable income at my
Wow.
grasp
Wow.
just from 3, 4 weeks ago. And I said, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So it's for those people who need that little bitty push.
Dude, there's so
And
many people out here that need that. I have my own little, investment club that I do and teach people how to invest in the stock market. And like you said, it just ballooned up. I went from three people, my wife and her girlfriend, and they, like you said, they told somebody, told their spouse. So, and I encouraged them to. I told them, bring your kids. Bring your kids. I break it down so that they can understand it as well and learn how to invest and have their money make money for them. And they've got their own success stories as well. So I totally get it. And I appreciate you coming on. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the book is, I'm gonna pull it up again for you. Mindset first, money second. And this is JB McGinnis. And again, I want to thank him for coming on the show for me with me. You gotta put me in touch with your wife, man, because
absolutely, man.
I want to put some glaze
Absolutely.
on her book as well. Help
Absolutely,
her with
man.
some-
She had a great run. Her book was great. She won a couple of awards on her book.
Wow. Oh, I absolutely need to talk to her.
Yeah, she
And I also want to pick your brain. Like I said, I got a book in my mind. I need you guys' help
absolutely.
on
Hey,
how to
man,
make
it's
that
out
happen.
there, man. It's in there. It's in your brain. Let's get it out to print because people are gonna love it. You get the support, and here's what I found, Craig. You do what you do.
Mhm.
People, they love you. They support you. But when you become an author, it takes it to the next level. It
Nice.
just takes it to the next level. It really does. And so that is better, has worked better for me than my credentials of being a certified credit counselor. I let the credentials go because being an author, 10 times credibility. Because when people hear you being an author, they are more likely to just tune in and listen. And
Right.
so it's helped out tremendously.
Nice. Nice. Well, okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard him. It's a good book. I read it. I highly recommend you run out and get it as well. It's available on Amazon and also Barnes and Noble. And JB, I appreciate you coming on. And thanks again.
I mean, I appreciate you having me. Thanks a lot, man.
All right.